In this video, 11-year-old Katie is learning how to collect her mount mentally and emotionally. I have Katie working on a left-right pattern, where she uses big, snaky bends to collect her mount, without pulling back at all and using her hands to slow her down. The idea here is that the shape of the turn will help shorten the pony's stride length. As the pony becomes more supple, she will work off of adrenaline and start to fall into a slow rhythmic trot. Ultimately, we would like Molly to be able to walk, and then eventually to stand still quietly for a minute. But at this point, that's not a reasonable request. This is Molly's first day working in the large outdoor arena, and Katie and Molly have only had about 4 lessons together. Already, Molly starts to slow down for Katie, but she can't keep her feet still for very long. Katie goes back to working on the trot, using her hands low without putting much tension on the rein to make a nice round turn. Katie has never done this exercise before, so going around some of the turns, her toe starts to point down as she gets a little bit off balance and starts to grip with her knee. But by the end of the lesson, Katie has much quieter hands and better leg position, and she posts more solidly off of her calf. This is a very advanced exercise to ask a young rider to do, but it's something that, once they learn how to do it, can be very valuable to them. It's much easier for a young rider to learn to slow a horse down with an exercise like this than by asking them to be very deliberate about how they collect the horse up. It's also more fun because Katie gets to trot continuously and be very active and gets to fall into a nice synchrony with Molly. Katie will become more efficient at this exercise when she can start to feel exactly where Molly is harboring her adrenaline. Is it in her hip, her shoulder, her barrel? Oftentimes it starts in the jaw, and if you make nice turns that loosen up the jaw, more like the throat latch area actually, you can work back from the throat latch, through the shoulder, to the hip, and then come back to the barrel and loosen that whole section up. And then your horse starts to move very long and low and really feels where you're at and comes back to you. What I mean by that is the horse looks for your level of energy and looks for the feeling of your body and responds to it more so than deliberate cues and aids. It's with that kind of synchrony that you get a beautiful dance-like ride. You also get a horse that has cruise control. It isn't constantly speeding up and slowing down. Most of the time when a horse is continuously speeding up or slowing down, it has something to do with either fear or the rider's position. When a rider gets behind the motion, the horse feels pressured from behind and starts to sort of squirt forward. A horse that is nervous about its environment will also speed up because it can't keep a steady pace for fear that something scary is eventually going to catch up with it. But if you keep it moving and just continually offer it the opportunity to stop and relax without pulling on it and forcing it, the horse will begin to understand that standing still is a reward and it's not a trap. Horses need the opportunity to explore their environment, to be confident about what surrounds them. When you inhibit their desire to do this, they often feel like you're conspiring against them. Instead, if you go with them and allow them to go at the pace that they want to go for the first part of the day, they will eventually start to settle in and realize that partnering up with you is a great way to explore the environment with someone confident. The key to coming off as a confident, supportive friend is to not inhibit the horse's forward motion and not inhibit the direction of travel, but to do a little bit of what the Parellis call tit for tat. If your horse wants to go left, you say, okay, let's go left for a little while. Now what do you think about right? And so you ask the horse to go right for a little bit, and as soon as the horse starts to speed up again, you say, oh, well, right was great. What do you think about left? When it's a small change like that, it's harder for the horse to take offense. What you do is use the lightest rein aid possible to make the change of direction, and then you offer the horse the opportunity to go straight. If the horse goes straight without speeding up, you don't touch the reins again. But if the horse speeds up, you make a change of the direction. Pretty soon the horse figures out that going straight is a reward, and he'll get to go straight, as long as he goes straight and keeps a steady pace. After just 5 minutes of this exercise, Molly is ready to start slowing down to a walk, and there was never a fight, never any pressure from Katie, just a continuous movement and lots of support from a friend. Katie's job's not over, but she carries this theme into the rest of the lesson with excellent results.